wasn't talking to you. Hush.
Uh,
Okay, we are live. Welcome, folks, to another weekly town hall. We're really just kind of hanging out right now, waiting for others to join. Not really ready to get started, but I saw there were 1 or 2 people watching. So hello to you. And we're just going to hang out here and chat for a couple more minutes as we stall, waiting for the rest to join. And then we'll get going from there. So I can go ahead and share my screen, get things ready here. Let's see. I was just saying to the other guys here that we were supposed to have a presentation today from, is Jack with Humanos 3D? Is that Jack there?
no, he's not.
Hello, welcome. Whoever just joined from Humanos 3D.
That would be Adam Armfield, probably.
Is it? Okay, I can't quite tell with the mask. You guys hear us? No, I don't think they're getting audio yet. Okay. Well, like I was saying, we're supposed to have a presentation today from Jack Buchanan. I think there might have been a little bit of confusion over the starting time and the time zones and all that. So he may or may not be joining us. We're just going to have to hang out here and see. Are you guys able to hear us now from Humanos 3D? You're muted. If you want to unmute, say hello. I don't, oh, maybe you're in a place where you can't really talk.
Hi, hi, this is Ron here from Humanos 3D.
Welcome.
Guys, how are you doing? I'm just trying to work with my mic because I don't listen really well, but I'm really interested in this presentation.
Excellent. Well, I hope we have it still. There's a little bit of confusion over the time zone, so we're just going to have to wait and see if Jack is able to make it. But I'm really looking forward to this too. So if it doesn't work out here as we were hoping, we will definitely get it rescheduled. But we'll have to wait here and see. So far, it's looking like he might not have seen my message.
On another note, I've had my eye out for a project that could engage the e-NABLE 3D printing community with my new secondary tribe from the Eco Restoration Alliance. And there's a wonderful project for an open source, basically biodiversity sensor. It's a bird cam that also listens to the songs, identifies the birds, and posts them. And that would need a 3D printed enclosure and so on. It's all based on the Raspberry Pi. And by the way, there's a worldwide shortage of Raspberry Pis. The little units that were selling for $30 new are now selling for $130 used if you can get them.
Seriously?
That's what I was told.
I've got 4 of them sitting here unopened that I haven't gotten to. Maybe I ought to put them up on eBay.
You got it. You're sitting on a gold mine, Jeremy.
Yeah. Little did I know I was making a good investment.
Check it out.
Anyway, if you or somebody wants to build one, John, I could send one of these your way. I got the whole kit here.
Well, as a matter of fact, I've got me and another guy who knows Raspberry Pis and is into this kind of thing. So if I could get 2 from you, Jeremy, I'd even pay for them.
This is a Raspberry Pi 4 with the case.
Whoa.
And the USB-C charger. It's got like everything you need to get started.
And you have a second as well of the same?
I have, yeah, I've got 4 of them, so I could send you 2 if you want.
Wow. Well, I'll check with my buddy, see if he's really good for this. And if he is, that's a good score.
Yeah, just let me know if they'll be put to good use. I can send them your way.
Well, they will. You might be interested in bird cam as well. If you want, we could make one for you. Send it back configured.
I would be interested. That sounds pretty cool. Yeah. So what is it as it's collecting data? Is it just saving?
I'll send you some information about
is it just saving the data on like a local, like an SD card in the Raspberry Pi or something, or is it transmitting it somehow?
I'm not I think it's Wi-Fi engaged.
Okay. Well, I guess these do have Wi-Fi, don't they? Does it say here?
I'll send you some background, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, very interesting. Cool. Well, at this point, we are approaching 10 after. I'm going to have to say that we did not successfully coordinate the timing of this presentation. So apparently there was a mix-up. I apologize to those who tuned in for the Kwawu 3.0 presentation. Like I was saying, I'm very much looking forward to this too. So we will get this back on the schedule, hopefully for next week, if Jack is available. But I think at this point we better move on, at least for now. And maybe he'll still show up, but maybe we'll just move on and get into some of our other agenda. So yeah, sorry for the change of plans, folks, but we're going to move on at least for now and see what happens. So if he doesn't show up, we will get it back on the schedule. Action items, only have a couple. The first one was for me dealing with writing up this call for help for the matching platform needs analysis. I did have a call with Ed, our friend Ed Grieg over at Deloitte, and he seemed interested. I just sent him an email this morning to follow up and see if they have anyone on the team that would be available to help. Depending on their response, if they don't have anyone or if they're not able to get involved, I will then post something on either the hub or I guess Lumio is the task here. So I'll write something up on Lumio and then share that to the hub. So that's pending. John, any updates on the Handshake program? I think Ian was going to help you kind of optimize things there.
Yes, I don't think any more has happened on that.
Okay. So we'll come back to that. And then we've got some other action items that are going to take more time. I don't think we have any updates on these right now, so we'll skip that. Jack Buchanan, hopefully giving a presentation soon. Here's our metrics, nothing really out of the ordinary. I will just call out again the fact that we have a very healthy $46,800 balance in the e-NABLE fund. So call for good projects. And that means anyone. Since you're here from, we have our friends from Humanos 3D, that includes you. If you guys have some interesting initiatives that you would like to put forth, it's a great time to do that. I want to stress the fact that this is not, nobody should be hesitant about requesting money for worthwhile initiatives, because when it comes time to go back to our donors and ask for more money, we need to be able to show them all the great stuff we did with these funds last time around. So we really need to use these funds. We really need some projects from anyone that has good ideas.
Jeremy, Humanos 3D is giving a presentation, I think at the Bionics session next time, about their latest device, the successor, I believe, to the Medallo arm. So they may have some updates, and that might open the door for some new projects.
That sounds great. When is that presentation?
Well, that I would need to have the calendar in front of, but they're scheduled for the next Bionics meeting.
The next.
We are with the next Friday, actually,
yeah,
6th of May.
Friday.
Great.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, I'll definitely be tuning in for that. From the hub, just posts of interest. Some of these are for last week, so we didn't have time to get to these, but Alexander did share his print-in-place Phoenix design, which is one of our first print-in-place designs that has been successfully tested and found to work well. And we're looking at sort of converting even this new design that we're working on now, the Evo hand, which hasn't been released yet. That will likely eventually be a print-in-place design, and others may follow suit. So starting to explore this print-in-place territory where the hand itself and all the fingers would be printed already assembled, and pretty cool stuff. So he released that on the hub, and I put the link here for anybody that hasn't seen that. Joshua Trubinsky posted seeking help with a rather challenging case. Not very, not your typical anatomy, and he's looking for help. And it looks like he was trying to go the route of the kinetic hand, which, has some custom versions, without the thumb, which looks like, because that residual thumb there needs some room. And he's basically looking for some help on the scaling, and he's showing his work here and asking for input. So looks like there's some good conversation here. I don't know that I have anything to add. I just calling out some of the more active posts of the week. Eric Bubar was saying that in situations like this, the most important thing is to set expectations. This is a very unique anatomy, and getting an off-the-shelf 3D printed device that will function well and fit well is a huge challenge for a professional, really pushing the boundaries, et cetera. So setting proper expectations, which is very important. Thank you, Eric, for that. I don't know if there's anything else to talk about here, but does anybody have any? I guess it looks like he's already on the right path with the kinetic hand, and he's already had some people that are kind of providing input on the scaling and validating that. So does anybody have anything to add here? Looks like he's in pretty good hands already. Okay, we'll move on then. Next one here is George McBroom asking how other volunteers are finding people to make devices for. And I'm really just calling this one out as an example of something that we've heard again and again. It's a known issue that we're working on, but he's, you know, hey, we've got, you know, I'm in e-NABLE Web Central, and there's only like 20 cases and none of them are by me. How do I find people to help? And so we've talked about this many times. We are working to address this. I'm hoping that when we do this matching platform needs analysis, that's going to be a big step in the right direction, because I think a part of this is having a real person in the middle that is aware of all the different cases and needs and can connect more manually with appropriate volunteers. And those are things we're exploring now. Anyone else have any thoughts on this? The whole, like, how do we find people to help question?
I have nothing new to say, but for those who haven't been there, I think outreach in your own area is the best bet and will provide the best service if you can find a partner to work with.
And then another one that just came in from Harold Bannister, who's making a rather serious accusation that right after he signed up, he says he started getting spam, and he's referring to phishing emails. He's saying the phishing emails I received after joining and sending my info is not humorous. Somebody has contact with your database and is checking your flow of data. I have to say, I find this highly doubtful. I have never had a single report of anybody receiving any kind of suspicious or malicious emails that might be connected with us. I have never received any, and I'm certainly in the database. So I have to assume that maybe he received some other phishing email that just happened to come in after he signed up. I don't know.
But if anyone else has that.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody sees any emails that claim to be from us or from e-NABLE that seem to be suspicious, I mean, he's claiming these are phishing emails, and phishing emails are specifically emails that are claiming to be from somebody that are actually from somebody else. And when you click on a link, it takes you to some malicious site. I have never seen anything like that.
I've never experienced it.
So if anybody else has any kind of an issue with this, please let me know immediately, and I will look into it. But I have to say, this sounds rather doubtful to me. I've never seen any indication of this. So I'm calling it out there just so we can give people a chance to, you know, let me know if you do see anything like that. But otherwise, I won't take any action, because that's the first I've ever heard of anything like that. All right, so on our upcoming meetings, we just talked about this. We've got the Bionic Design Team meeting next Friday, and we'll have this presentation from our friends at Humanos 3D about their latest work. So that'll be very exciting. And then I don't think, let me look, I doubt we have the next month's calendar in here yet. Yeah, this is still April. So I guess we'll go over the May calendar next time. I'm not sure if Ben has gotten to that yet. So I apologize. I didn't really spend any time preparing an agenda here, because I thought today was going to be a special presentation. So I'm just going to kind of leave this as an open discussion day. I mean, we've been having a lot of discussion recently about just kind of the state of the community in general and how we move forward and seeking new leadership. And we can give an update on that. We've had some success, and very excited to see Eric Bubar and Ian Roy and Jeff Powell, and who am I missing? Several folks sort of stepping up. And John, were you saying something? I think you muted.
Tanya Lurch is joining that conversation as well.
Excellent. So there's a very talented group of individuals that are starting to have discussions and talk about how we move forward and what's next step, specifically in the context of e-NABLE USA, because, you know, other parts of our community are doing just fine and don't need our help. But e-NABLE USA, I think, needs a little bit better coordination, leadership, and maybe a different approach to how we're doing, you know, matching and case management. And so that's all being reviewed, and that's been a topic of discussion lately. So I guess we can start there. John, do you want to just kind of give a quick update on conversations that have been had and where things stand as far as you're aware in that regard?
Well, Ian Roy at Brandeis University is likely to take over the device catalog first. He's also got a good connection to the NIH 3D printing catalog and is going to update the e-NABLE space that has been there since they opened the NIH catalog with our recommended designs. So he correctly perceives that our now large connection of e-NABLE devices is overwhelming to most people and not relevant to most people. And so that's going to be sort of the back stacks of the library, and the NIH section will be the showcase, if you will. Brandeis has several other interesting initiatives, but I just have to interrupt because the driver has something going on here.
No problem. All right, so I'll just kind of pick up where he left off. So yeah, the idea was that we're looking for kind of a more visual catalog approach where you, instead of just right now, if you go to the catalog, you get a whole bunch of, it's a wiki, you get a whole bunch of text, and it's rather challenging to visually kind of identify the kind of design you're looking for. The NIH, might as well just pull it up as we're talking about it here, NIH 3D Print Exchange. You know, you're probably familiar with this site already. The NIH 3D Print Exchange, if we go down here to prosthetics, which there's already a collection set up, curated by e-NABLE, we just haven't really done anything with it. But as you can see, we already have kind of a visual catalog here that could be built out to suit our needs. So that seems like an excellent idea. Ian proposes that we update this, get all of our current designs into this site, so that you have a nice way of visually browsing them. And of course, when you go into one of these, you know, it's you know, you get a lot of you get a text description over here, but then we can link to, you know, the page on the hub or wherever we have the more detailed page like what we have currently. So that seemed like a really nice approach. We're gonna kind of wait until he can explore that further, but that's the plan there, which seemed like and you know, there's something to be said for kind of having the designs on the NIH 3D Print Exchange. I think it also kind of lends some legitimacy to the catalog and the designs themselves. They even have, some of you may have seen this, if we go to, where is it, the ones that are from the PPE, COVID-19 response, they did this thing where you have, you know, a certain collection of designs that are reviewed for clinical use. And then you've got all the other designs that they say are just optimized for community use. And so we could do something similar where maybe some of our designs that have been vetted in a certain way, you know, we'll have to come up with the right wording for that, but we could separate out those that have been sort of properly vetted from those that are a little bit more in the experimental stage. So that's kind of the direction he's taken with that. So back to you, John.
So Brandeis also has real expertise in developing documentation. So that's going to be, I think, another focus of Ian and his team. And then down the road, they have a program where they put interns, and we've had very good experience with Isabella and Kevin and Allie from Brandeis as interns, but they place interns on the boards of nonprofit organizations. And so we're planting the notion that if they were actually to get an intern on the board of the Amputee Coalition, for example, that might be a way of really building bridges and addressing the connection to the community that we aim to serve. So those are very good developments from Brandeis. Meanwhile, Eric Bubar has a new biomedical engineering program at Marymount, which has been inspired by and still involves R&D around.
Oh, we're losing you, John.
And so he's taking the lead in. You're losing me?
Yeah, I think we hear you now. Try again.
Okay, I was saying that Eric Bubar's new biomedical engineering program is uses e-NABLE as a platform. And so he is thinking about how to build out an R&D development that would be a good match for the fact that the American e-NABLE communities are about 50% universities and schools, which brings us to Tanya Lurch, his longtime collaborator in K-12 education. She is going to give a presentation on her work at the next education workshop, or maybe it's a focused follow-up, but she's scheduled for the coming month as well. And meanwhile, Jeff Powell, who has presented recently on the outreach work they do to families, is talking with the aforementioned in order to sort of develop a sense of who's going to be leading on what and so on. So it's a bunch of heavy hitters who are taking it very seriously. They have had a hard time finding a place to, a time when they could all meet, but Eric, thank you, took the lead and set up a shared document in which the discussion is going on that way. If anyone listening to this thinks they would like to be a part of that discussion, let me know, and I'll tie you into the group, into the shared document. But I feel pretty good about the fact that we have 4 e-NABLE heavy hitters and long timers who are very well qualified to take on and develop pieces of the emerging program that are quite ripe.
Absolutely, yeah. It really feels like good progress. No, all of these people that we've talked about, they're really exceptionally capable folks. So I'm glad to see how this is coming together. Very exciting. Other thoughts on next steps here, guys? I gave a presentation recently at the last new members meetup. I went through all of our current sort of needs, which I'm showing on screen here. We have kind of a long list of projects and initiatives and areas of responsibility that we're sort of looking for people to help us with. I haven't really had any follow-up from anyone since that session. Ben might have. We'll have to check with him when he's here next, but there's quite a lot to help with. I'm kind of wondering though what the next steps for this are. I got to check with Ben because I'm wondering when he probably already shared the recording from that session. What I don't know is whether he shared this spreadsheet with it. We probably should make sure this is available through the hub for people to browse at their leisure. Maybe he already did that. I don't know. Hi, Vivek. Good to see you. You probably tuned in for our presentation today from Jack Buchanan. Unfortunately, I think we kind of crossed wires on the time zones and scheduling. So we're going to reschedule that hopefully in the very near future. I don't know which week it'll be yet though, but it doesn't look like we're going to have that today. But I'm glad you're here anyway.
And thanks, Jeremy. Jeremy did a presentation for a STEM 3D print program that
Yes.
our alumni group recently organized. It was really well received, Jeremy.
Yeah, what an
People
impressive
really
group of kids you got. They really blew me away with the projects they're doing. Very impressive.
We have another one coming up tomorrow, actually, but first to fifth graders.
Wow.
They seem to be getting younger.
Wow.
That's
Incredible.
Great. Yeah, they're the ones that are going to be growing up with all this. So it's great that you're getting them involved with it.
Vivek, I haven't seen you since you got back from India. I wonder if you have, and I know that you were trying to have a conversation with our friends in at Maker's Asylum. I wonder if you have anything to tell us about that.
No, after that talk, which I missed, I got in touch with I forget his name now, But
Bye, Bob.
yeah, I'll have to follow up with him and see if he's doing anything with prosthetics. He sounds like, I mean, they have a really impressive operation.
They do.
I was really impressed with the stuff they do. So yeah, let me take a note. I'll try to reach out and see what he's up to.
For the big audience, I will just remind them that there's actually an opportunity that we haven't really published, but I'm confident it would go through if we found the right person. There's an opportunity for someone to do a 1 semester or 6-month internship in the seaside resort that Makers Asylum is in now, to work with their very accomplished makers, but also to specialize in figuring out the outreach to the recipient community there. And if the right person with the right skills had the right interest and the right availability, I believe that that would be a no-brainer for funding from the e-NABLE fund.
Is there like a set time frame or time window for this internship, or are they just kind of looking for somebody that could come out there for 6 months?
The latter. We sort of agreed that that would be the right way to develop the program.
That sounds like.
Are you referring to the Goa group?
Yes,
John?
indeed.
Oh,
Goa is
wow.
That's right. Vivek, how about you? You're interested in spending 6 months, 3 months?
I would love to spend 6 months in Goa. It's not a bad place to be in. But I don't think I can do it. I got too much going on here.
Yeah, it's no small ask. By the way, folks, I just want to mention, I didn't see it before in the chat, but Evan, who is watching, mentioned that he's interested in the fundraising and coordination role that we had on that spreadsheet. He won't be able to do it for a while. He's got to get through some other things first, but that's wonderful, Evan. Thank you so much.
That's great, Evan.
You'd be absolutely perfect for that role. Bob Rieger,
that's good news.
Bob Rieger is still here with us, has been taking the lead on that. And so it would be great to, even if you're not able to take it on, it would be great to at least get you two connected, do some, let him do some knowledge transfer on what he's done and connections that he's established and things like that. So just food for thought. Maybe you guys could get on a call if you have some time. Okay, well, maybe we keep today a little bit of a shorter meeting. I don't want to try to come up with things to talk about if we don't need to. Let me just ask if anybody else has anything that you would like to discuss, and we can certainly do that. Otherwise, we're just going to wrap up and try to reschedule with Jack.
Just one quick thing on the bionic hand piece. I need to get back into it, but I was trying to find a speaker for next Friday. Which is
we have one, Vivek. They actually left just before you got here. Humanos 3D is going to present on Friday.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, great. Awesome.
Yep.
But I'm also glad that you're going to regain pick up the torch again.
Yes, I've been out of it for too long. Yep.
That's okay.
So yeah,
great.
That's my plan. Yep.
Okay, well, let's keep this one as a half-hour meeting for today. Go ahead and wrap up. I will reach out to Ben and Jack and try to get him back with us as soon as possible. And as always, we'll see you next week, same time.
And
okay.
John, can you send me more information on this internship at Maker Asylum in Goa? Is there some more information you have on that?
There isn't much. We should write it up, but what I said
I can.
I think that would
take
be
that to the bank.
That would be well worth writing up, John, because I think it's all in your head right now. But a brief description of the responsibilities, what they'd be doing, and skills that we're looking for, that kind of stuff would be very helpful.
All right, I can put it on my to-do list.
I can forward that to our community here, the alumni community, and see if there's people who would like to do it.
That's terrific. Okay, will do.
All right.
Okay.
See everyone next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.